The media has been overloaded with talks of the metaverse after Facebook announced it was changing its name to Meta to represent a strategic shift and significant investment into creating a virtual universe. For the unfamiliar, the metaverse promises a digital reality where participants can don a set of virtual reality goggles and navigate a stylized version of themselves, called an avatar, through virtual workspaces, entertainment venues, and other interactions. Participants might also play immersive games and perhaps purchase some virtual goods along the way, with everything from digital accessories for their avatars to as yet undefined collectible digital merchandise available. Some of the more expansive visions for the metaverse include a digital currency and an economy of makers designing and buying these virtual goods from virtual stores, ultimately generating real-world cash. The owners of the metaverse will of course collect slices of the various transactions and presumably use its understanding of each being in the metaverse to sell them real and virtual goods. While all these things sound rosy, there are some worrisome details about the metaverse that most people seem to ignore. Yes, the metaverse will allow us to experience an endless virtual world, where you can do things only you dreamt of using an avatar. You could create your favorite relaxing spot in nature, switch the scenery at will, and a bunch of other cool stuff, but we seem to forget the bad things that could spring as the metaverse unfolds, which I will reveal in this review. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Metaverse Economy channel. In this video, I will focus on the ugly side of the metaverse. I'm actually going to bring to light the demerits, or you can say consequences, of a fully realized metaverse. You might not agree with me on every point I make in this video, but that's okay. The information I'm sharing is based entirely on my perspective of the metaverse. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to catch more videos like this. The metaverse has been championed as the next phase of technology with virtually countless benefits, with the potential to provide people with new opportunities and capabilities like nothing they've yet known. But one thing most people seem to forget is what the actual means for reality. For me, I believe the metaverse can be described as an attack on reality. Tech companies are announcing the digital attack on reality by developing parallel worlds that merge digital and real-life experiences so they are no longer distinguishable. It is clear what the purpose is. These companies want to stay relevant by sucking people into their tech environment, creating addictive behaviors that are not sustainable. Facebook talks about the metaverse. The very sound of this word gives me the creeps. The fact that this company is so much under scrutiny and criticism wants to drag hundreds of millions of users into something they basically don't need. Let's face it, what brought more joy when we went into lockdowns? Was it the walk through the woods, along the seashore, through undiscovered parts of our town and neighborhoods? Or was it the hours that we had to spend behind the scene looking at the digital version of life? We learn from our physical and social interactions with our environment. Children manipulate objects. They discover the world tactically. They learn to think and solve problems by finding their way in exciting and sometimes risky environment. For me, the metaverse is going to kill all that and enslave us in a virtual world that we can't feel and touch. Why is the metaverse a bad thing? Well, let's talk about the de-skilling. Technological advance always leads to de-skilling, and that should not always be a problem. But at the end, it makes us depend on technology. A long time ago, one needed to be an engineer to drive and repair an automobile. Cars today are reliable. One needed to be able to study maps. Today, the GPS has taken over, and one needed manual force to change a tire. But today, rapid intervention supported by clever technology have made having a spare tire in your car even unnecessary. Architects needed to be able to draw and create their ideas on paper. Today, they can rely on their computer to make all the calculations needed to design and build the greatest constructions. And sometimes, they make a mistake by creating structures that do not fit in the environment. An example can be taken from the Richard Sinnett's The Craftsman. Digital technology has made our lives easier, but to transfer to a metaverse is merely dystopian. It's like installing Plato's cave and renouncing our instincts. We must keep in touch with the physical and social reality. Everything that comes in between us and reality is derived and not as good as the real thing. The idea for a virtual world is not new. Who remembers Second Life? It was an early attempt to create a virtual world. It flopped. The tech was not great, but the idea was the same. I do not want to sound nostalgic or defensive, but there is no need to accept the technology push if there is no pull that finds its source in human behavior. And I do not dismiss virtual reality as a technology by itself, as it has many beneficial applications also in healthcare. Another thing to consider about the metaverse is that there are more benefits to sticking to reality than living in a virtual world. One of the many arguments about the benefits of virtual reality and the metaverse is that it is used to promote well-being. People who cannot go outdoors are offered experiences of nature through VR. There are benefits, but they are reportedly not as strong as when people would go out. Since people are increasingly living in cities, there is less and less direct access to nature. So people might go for a walk in a virtual forest and swim in a digital sea to avoid developing mental problems. But we know that the digital solution is far from optimal. It will provide people with an easy experience that has nothing to do with touching the soil, the leaves and branches, breathing the air, and feeling the wind caressing on one's face. So rather than diving into the metaverse, we can go for greener cities with ample possibilities to encounter people. Not only because this will fight pollution, city heat, and solitude, but also because cities would become habitats for humans that provide enough positive stimuli. This way, cities become more livable and people need not turn to a meta whatever. By investing in positive environments, the relevance of technology as an alternative to reality decreases. But let's face it, the metaverse is inevitable. Technology will continue to advance and the metaverse will become one of the main topics of the future. As the metaverse grows, it leaves many questions. How much of an impact will the metaverse have on our lives? Will we have to stick to goggles or VR glasses to experience a vacation trip? Will the metaverse further starve human relationship and connections just like social media? We will have to wait around to just see how positive or negative the metaverse could be for human relationships, mental and emotional well-being. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video useful, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe.